Can I deduct that? It's one of the most common questions in tax. And the honest answer depends on a two-part test that you might not have heard of. The IRS says a business expense is deductible if it's both ordinary and necessary. Ordinary means the expense is common and accepted in your trade or business. People in your field would recognize it as a normal cost of doing business. Necessary means it's helpful and appropriate for your business. Necessary does not mean you can't survive without it. It just means the expense makes reasonable sense for what you do. So let's run through a few examples so you can see these tests in action. Example 1, a plumber buys pipe fittings. Ordinary? Yes. Everyone in that trade buys them. Necessary? Yes. You need them for the job. That one's easy, deductible. Example 2, now imagine a freelance graphic designer taking a client to lunch. Could that be ordinary and necessary? It could, but only if there's a genuine business purpose. You need to document who you met with and what you discussed. Without that, it's just lunch. Also, the IRS limits meal deductions to 50%, so even if it qualifies, only half of it is deductible. Example 3, let's say a home baker buys a stand mixer used exclusively for their baking business. Ordinary for that business? Yes. Necessary? Yes. Deductible. But if that same mixer sits in the kitchen for Sunday pancakes too, the personal use changes the picture. Which brings up a good point. The expense has to be for the business, not just paid by the business owner. The IRS looks at purpose, not just who signed the check. Example 4. Let's say you fly to Hawaii for a legitimate business meeting. The trip and your expenses could be deductible. Business was the reason you went. But if you bring your family along, their airfare and hotel are not deductible. Those are personal expenses. And if the real reason for the trip is a family vacation and you happen to open your laptop on the beach, the whole thing is off the table. Business has to be the primary purpose, not something that's incidental to your personal plans. Context matters. Save agendas and other documentation to prove the business necessity and purpose of your trip. So the next time you ask, can I deduct that? Run it through this test. Is it something others in my field would do? Does it genuinely serve my business? If yes to both, you're likely in good shape. Document it and you're even better off. That's the ordinary and necessary test, your new best friend for thinking through deductions. Hit like if this gave you a clearer way to look at business expenses, and drop a comment with the deduction question you've been wondering about, and I'll see you next week.